what we see now, it's a result of something that has been working itself for many years. You can say for many years. So I don't understand why you're surprised. By what?
I don't want to get into the politics of it, but it's an
No, no,
attrition.
it's not politics. I'm saying they're all marionettes. It's not a decision making. It's but something else is being sort of activating it. Okay. So if we pass to, or at least we try to see, not to have answers, but at least to form different questions that will allow us to penetrate differently into actually what is happening in our life, in our lifetime, in our generation, and what truly it requires. So I would like to go there, not into sort of commentary about politics of today. I think it's a good time to see the difference. Because
So,
in the politics, there is no answer. There is only opinions.
correct, correct.
Okay. Yeah. So,
So let me start with this wasn't going to be my question, but it's interesting that in the parsha we read today, the word spy is used,
mm,
but it's a different Hebrew word, as I understand, from Deuteronomy. When Moses speaks, he uses the word spy. My understanding was that it was more like a scout
yeah,
instead of
it's more go and scout.
go and
Uh,
scout.
yeah, the direction is scout. But if we go into even the precedent of this scouting is is mentioned in actually in Genesis, Bereshit,
Yeah,
when the brothers come first time, they meet Joseph, and he's saying to them, "You came to spy the land.
yes,
Yeah, you came to find out its." Uh, Basically, if we translate it into our language, it will be to find its weak spots, its weak points. Okay, so and they're saying no, we came because we are hungry. Okay, but the accusation of spies in terms of going into the land in order to see something. Um, this is why actually we are calling them spies, but actually it's true. They were actually the instruction was to scout. If you like, it could be to gather intelligence,
yes.
uh, and 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 when the Zohar is actually speaking about that, the instruction is completely different than what we are able to understand to understand, because it's actually a description of a spiritual journey, going into as though going into the land of Israel is synonym into sort of uh, lifting oneself to the world of Atzilut and to see there the powers. As though when we lift ourselves to the spiritual world, we don't see threat as a threat, because they say we saw ourselves small. In our eyes, we were so small. But it's true, in their eyes, they were small because they persist and they insist on keeping their view. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's good time in our generation, in what we live in, is to see, actually,
Yeah.
that we actually adopt a very particular point of view, and we don't want to let it go. And therefore, we becoming actually impotent, unable to act, so small.
But in my understanding, the difference in scouting and spying would be the difference having an open mind and just looking to see what's here. Spying has a purpose,
Yeah,
and
it has a purpose. It's true. Scouting as well has a purpose. But
to learn. It's not. The
yeah,
spying necessarily has a war implication.
Spy, spy speaks about undercover. Scout can be in the open,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
And spies usually, at least in our language, has to do with hidden, uh, concealed. Uh, it's true. It's under what kind of concealment you're going to gather intelligence. So, because there are powers that actually will work, that we will feel that work against us, that we will call them evil or bad, we need to see that the source of it is one. The source of it is the interpretation and the way we are being used or the way we use it, okay? And the way we are able to change it. So on one hand, it is spying on the enemy, let's say on an enemy structure, in order to find out that it is not your enemy. It's part of the structure of revelation or redemption. Okay,
Yes. I hear it. I hear that.
so this is where we say this is what, for example, there is. I will take it into our structure. Okay. It is said not only by Kabbalistic wisdom, but um, many religions or wisdoms will say, "Know thyself," yeah. As a sort of as the first instruction of getting started on a spiritual journey. That might be scouting. So go and study yourself, see your will, see your what actually um, makes you, motivates you, yeah, what you're made of, okay, and that could be scouting. But at the moment that it's been done under a purpose, like let's say in a Kabbalistic purpose, that actually you're going there in order to find how to transform it, how to reform it, then you will find that you need to spy, you need to go undercover, because the resistance to your scouting will be great, and it will attack you. So actually, being able to know thyself with the purpose of not working for the will to receive to oneself, meaning getting out, getting free from that slavery, in order to be able to give sovereignty to our spirit, we will enter actually a struggle. Actually, we will enter a war. Okay? Because it will identify that you're not scouting, because from its point of view, you're spying. You're spying to find its weak point in order to be able to take over.